You're a bum, you're a bum, you're a bum. You're such a bum. I didn't know I could use the projector while doing that. Oh! Oswald, come on. That was such... What a bum move. They both showed up at the same time. Hey there, and welcome back to a week at Castaway Cay Broken Chains, where we pretty much left off on night 4. We've been pretty much just making our way through this kind of like maybe purgatory kind of realm. I guess it's not like we're not in the living world, right? If anything, this is like maybe some sort of like mindscape of our own making. The main premise so far is that we're pretty much trying to break out of this space so that we wake up in the real world only to inevitably die. So I'm curious to see how that's gonna go. Night 4. It's been a couple days because I've been recording a lot ahead of time, so I might have to recall some things real quick. I remember something here. Cam 3. Okay, Cam 3. Oh, great, we have a constant camera now. I feel like there was a way to zoom in. I completely forgot how to, though. Okay, so... Great. This is actually not great for me because I need to keep an eye on specific cameras to see when someone shows up here, but now they want me to keep an eye on Goofy. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. Go away. There's something here. There's so much going on. Oh my god. Alright, get away from here. That's a lot already. They all just attacked at once. I'm trying to see like what's the best way to do this because I have to watch both entrances for... I think it's Oswald, but get out of here, get out of here. But I also have to be careful. Like, what was that? Was that Oswald? Here we go. Okay, you're also there. Hold on. Okay, camera 4. Bring this over. Okay. Bring this back to camera 3. Go back. And now we're back in control. Wait a minute, where? Uh-oh. Goofy left. Okay, there they are. I think that's Goofy anyway. I'm hoping. Uh-oh. Wait, this isn't good. Wait. Yep, I was worried about that. I feel warm. Oh, because we're getting close to waking up. Because we're in like a fire at the moment. That's like, that's what's going on in the real world. Oh, no, you go back. There we go. So now my question is, when this thing leaves, does it go Goofy? This is Goofy, right? I'm pretty sure that's the Goofy they were referring to, because at least I don't recall seeing this here before, and it hasn't really moved along with everyone else. I'm guessing that's what I'm supposed to be keeping track of on the cameras. At least I think so. Hope so. go, go. Okay, wait. You moved? I gotta find Goofy now. I think that's Goofy on camera too. But I can't be too sure. I mean, it has to be, right? It's not you. And no, it doesn't apply to any camera. That has to be Goofy. It has to be. Go away. On. Okay, there we go. You know, there is one detail about this game I haven't really mentioned, but the fact that you don't get to see the time. At least I don't think I mentioned it, but you can hear when the hours progress. So even though you're aware time is progressing, it's like you kind of just go with the flow because you don't really have much more information. Hold on, oh, that was Goofy. They have to be camera 1 now. They might be camera 1. They might just be getting obscured. Go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, go away. Okay, so they're camera 1 now. I don't know what camera 1 leads to. Maybe junction 1? Or maybe junction 2 is more likely. Go away. Okay, so from there they got to junction 2, so I think that actually is on the money. Let's bring this over. There we go. Light this up. Caught you instantly. Alright. I think also, with regards to the story, I think we're learning about a group of people that got abandoned here. And they relied on the suits for warmth. At least that's what they said specifically. And at some point, the suits started to become one with them in a way. Like, I don't know. I assume they were talking about like living people at the time. So I don't know if like the living people got melded with the suits or something because they started wearing them too much.
Something happened earlier, and I mean no exaggeration, but a third arm has grown out of me.
I think that they mean physically.
Burning pain.
Yeah.
And then there it was, a new appendage grafted into my hip. I feel as though my time in Castaway Cay'S is preparing me for something. I know what my purpose is now. I am to use the vessel provided to me to let someone else out.
Someone else.
The island will forever be walked by the feet of those before me. Maybe they will remember us as their early progenitors, but to the greater world, we are forgotten.
Passed away, I guess one would say. So yeah, that seems to be like the general idea going on here. How does that connect to us in the living world? I'm not too sure. What's interesting is like what he said there is like this is happening to him so that he could then let someone else out. I'm not sure exactly who that would be in this case. Now let's see what other things are going to throw at us. I'm guessing, is that to mean they're now? Does that mean that they left this place? They're free now to burn as well? Because it seems like that person was also like in a similar. They were in the same position as us. It sounds like, where they were hoping, they were hoping to leave this place. Oh, okay. Hold on. I don't know what to do with you. Wait, what's happening? I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna guess we shut off the light for that one. So I wonder if did they become this creature that's now like, oh, really? Already? We just started. But I wonder if that is what's left over now of our helper. Like, in a way, it took over. Almost forgot about that. There we go. No, go away. Stop trying to peek out. I'm trying to live off. I was also clicking at it. That might not have been a great idea, because now I don't know what to do. Or I don't know if it was the light or me. Definitely the light. It's the light. Oh wait, what the hell? Also, is it just me or is the color palette changing a little bit in here? Jesus. It's starting to turn a bit more orange almost. I think that's because we're actually like, oh my god. I wonder if that's because we're slowly starting to return to the living world after this night. You can hear the burning as well. Also, what the... I recognize the song, but I don't know what it's called. It's supposed to be get copywritten for it. Turn this off. Go away. Burn. Alright, camera 2. Yeah, now we're being surrounded with fire. I think we're about to have the same fate as our assistant, our guide. Over here. Turn this off. Haven't seen you in a while. Uh-oh. Go away. The hell? Oh, he left. Come on. We're about to make it through. I mean, again, it's like, it feels, it's a bit ironic. Just because of how, it's like an inevitable doom regardless. No sound from you? Come on, go away. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go to GCT 2 after this one. Come on. There we go, come on. You haven't left yet? We're almost there. Oh, you bum. You're a bum, you're a bum, you're a bum. You're such a bum. I didn't know I could use the projector while doing that. Oh! Oswald, come on. That was such... What a bum move. They both showed up at the same time. Okay, gotta pay attention. Coast is clear. The fire's so... on. Shoot. Oh. Almost snuck up on me. They ended up at GCT 1. On. Oh, what the hell is that? Oh my god. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Bro. Wow. Oh wait, I think they showed up, didn't they? What? I didn't catch the sound cue. Honestly, this mechanic reminds me of Sylveon and Eeveetronics, where you have to pretty much be on top of them constantly, or else it's game over. At least that's what I felt like in that last, you know, that 5 a.m. run. Oh my god, why? Oh, see, now that would have been perfect timing to fall on. Oh, never mind. I thought for a second he was here. Come on. We're almost there. This is it. Go away. Alright, we're already watching the camera. There we go. That time, I probably did fuck up in that one run then. As the sun rose that morning, James Wilson set fire to the staff building. So I'm guessing that's our character then. You weren't awake to see it, but you knew. Or maybe James Wilson was our assistant, our guide. I don't know. He's not really a phone guy. He's like a TV guy, but you know. You were later found by a crew who were looking for leftover Disney property. Mickey suit. When they checked inside the costume, you were unrecognizable. So yeah, so we were also one of the people inside the suits then. The horrors of what you endured may only live on in your dying memories. Oh, I didn't get to finish reading that, god damn it. Okay, so yeah, so we were one of those castaways, I mean, and I'm guessing James Wilson was, well no, James Wilson definitely was, because I'm pretty sure they were the guy that was leaving those notes, or not notes, but those like post-shift like messages that we kept hearing. I'm pretty sure we're from, I guess, James Wilson, aka TV guy. I'm guessing that's what that was then. So it was kind of like, they were kind of like recounting how everyone was slowly kind of like morphing, or I don't know, morphing's probably not the right word, but they were being altered as they wore the suits. Now if we go into extras, let's see what we can see here. So I'm gonna see custom night and I'm gonna be, oh, okay. Is this like a, oh it is like a free roam. Oh nice. So we can see the models here. Oh, you can actually read the descriptions for them. So this is Conductor Mouse, one of the first models made back in 2019. He was originally going to be voiced. However, due to a variety of reasons, mostly not wanting to get a noise complaint or bothering any of my VA friends for this project, he goes mostly silent. The model was preserved as close as I could to the 2019 counterpart. Just realized you're missing a leg there, buddy. Next we have Brittle Oswald, the first enemy constructed for the original version of Broken Chains back in 2019. The model was preserved as close as I could in the 2019 counterpart. The original idea was the enemies would largely follow their AWACC mechanics, I guess the build mechanics. So the flashlight was kept for him, so I'm guessing the original mechanics. And he was voiced by the developer, Squeaks. Then we have Brittle Minnie, the third design created for the game. Her original idea was to try and interfere with the cameras, but you would shut off the lights. This was swapped out for the flashlight mechanic. I think that was probably a good idea just because you already have 2 light mechanics to deal with anyway. I guess, yeah, 3 flashlight mechanics versus 3 light mechanics, I think overall feels better. The model was preserved from its 2019 counterpart with the exception of the legs, which now have a twitchy shader over, as we can see. Then we have Shadow Donald. That's Donald. Oh, that's right. That was Donald. I forgot they mentioned that in the bloody in the TV guide. I completely forgot this was Donald. Like, what in the world? What happened to you? I can see the silhouette, but why in the world did this happen to you, buddy? Shadow Donald was the last character from the 2019 concept of the game. The original idea was to have several Donalds that make up the darker areas of the map. However, this was axed due to it being near impossible to clear the later nights. Concept renders of this do exist though. The model was preserved from its 2019 counterpart. So I wonder if, several Donalds that make up the darker areas, maybe it would have been like find the right one on camera, but that would be very difficult, especially given Goofy's own mechanics later on. So I'm kind of glad they did not go in that direction. Next we have, what is this? Brittle Stitch. Oh, I keep saying battle. Brittle Stitch. Oh boy. Never was gonna guess that was actually supposed to be Stitch. Now this was the first character created for the 2026 rendition of Broken Chains. I largely just try to mimic my older style, down to making the materials in Blender as opposed to Substance. The models were created and then baked, so I could preserve the Blender 2.79 crust of the older we got Castaway Cay'S games. Jeez, the contrast is really difficult, that's why I'm just like trying to voice the whole thing out. Scorched Goofy was the last enemy designed for Broken Chains 2026. He was a late addition, but one I wanted to include since the start. The idea is the first 3 nights would be spent showing how the cameras can be used, only to introduce a stress-inducing mechanic on night 4, by having to pretty much constantly be on track with that guy. I'm sorry, does that say fear of self? Oh, I thought it said fear of salt for a second. Is the second to last character made for... They keep going for all these different names, like they keep referring to the game in different names. For Broken Chains 2026. Truthfully, the original concept didn't have a boss modeled, but I wanted the spirit inside of rotting Mickey to face himself. This manifested in fear of self. So yeah, so we're the spirit in rotting Mickey, obviously. Fear of self is also based on the character named Fear, who was scrapped from BTM. I'm not sure which one that is. Again, just like, I'm not sure how many of these games existed, but I suppose like this was going to be in another one of the Castaway games. And now they finally get to debut here. And so finally, I'd like to thank... Oh, god damn it. I'd like to thank Oscar... I think that's supposed to be Oscar McGuire, but like 5 and 1, replacing some of the letters here. For not only hosting the game jam, but also generally helping me look back at my older projects a little more fondly. I had a nice time developing this game. I am content with this being my last Five Nights at Treasure Island project, but I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. Toodles! P.S. Wishlist Hotel Investigation 09 on Steam. Am I gonna guess that's like a... Is that an anomaly game? Can I guess that immediately off the bat? Okay, never mind. It is not actually. This is one of those... There's a... I mean, I've heard of a game like this. I think it was like Shipwreck 64. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it literally is like Shipwreck 64 and ARG, and will force you out of the game occasionally to interact with outer sources. That's what I was thinking of. Now, I wonder what this is. Is this supposed to be... I think this is like early footage of the game, like the game. And I think this might be... I wonder if that's the... What is that? It was like a shadow bunny of sorts. Is it... Could it have been... No, it's not you, because you're the one that had the dark area mechanic, right? I think this is just early footage of the game, like, in development. So, at one point you can see, like, that's, like, the finished product, and they were showing, like, early versions of it. I thought for a second they were showing early versions of, Shadow Donald there. But they also showed, like, Minnie having a bit of a... I wonder if that was, like, a different mechanic for Minnie showing up in the middle of the office, like, or middle of the room, like that. It's pretty much like a little devlog, really, of all, pretty much, you know, like, their rigging for the characters, as well as, like, early footage of, like, how the game looked like in development, like, right here, pretty much. And I think that pretty much covers that. Oh. I think I trapped myself in the void. Oh, no, here we go. So that is pretty much that. There is no custom night. That pretty much concludes everything that there is to see in a week at Castaway Cay, Broken Chains. Quite a journey, I guess, with this developer in particular, just going from Polar Dread a couple years ago to now playing like this, like a fan project of a Five Nights at Treasure Island game, specifically a game that they originally were going to make in 2019 and ended up getting resuscitated in 2026, 7 years later. Overall, I had fun with the game. I like the idea with the different mechanics, right? Having the camera system be this projector that you can literally manipulate, right? And is not only just like to view some of the cameras, but is also a core mechanic, like getting rid of Shadow Donald. In terms of the camera usage itself, obviously, like for like the early nights, you would mainly use it to try and track down Oswald to see which side they're going to attack. And then after that, you pretty much move on to using the cameras strictly for managing, what's their name? Goofy. And I wonder if there could have been a way to kind of change things up a bit where you could have, maybe like the game would have had you, you know, watch Goofy to some extent, but then also still have to check the cameras to track Oswald as well. Because in a way it was like you traded Oswald's mechanic for Goofy's when it comes to using the cameras, because eventually I just started just checking both entrances for Oswald, right? I wasn't really using the cameras for that. Another thing that I think could have been interesting is the Junction 1 camera being, I guess, somewhat more useful. I mean, in general, when it comes to the cameras, right? Cameras 1, 2, and 3 are really for Goofy, right? They don't really hold much importance for any of the other characters, given that you don't see those cameras near your room, right? There's only 2 relevant cameras to where your position is, Junction 1 and Junction 2. Besides those 2 cameras, the other cameras are just there, pretty much, right? And again, pretty much only end up being used for Goofy's sake. But I wonder if they could, I mean, I think like they could have used Junction 1 a bit more, because Junction 1 was strictly for Shadow Donald, right? But you don't really need to follow Shadow Donald through the cameras when you can clearly tell where they are, at which entrance. So on one hand, like, I don't think it should have been for Oswald's mechanic, because having Oswald split between 4 entrances could have been tough with Goofy's mechanic in the mix there. But it would have been cool to see like those entrances being used and that camera being used for something more. Besides that though, game mechanics wise, right? But yeah, you know, besides, I think it was like those core mechanics, right? Flashlight, turn off lights, projector. Obviously some interesting things with the projector, right? With Minnie and Fear of Self, right? Having the camera cycle at extreme pace, which obviously harms your work with Goofy. All in all, definitely makes for a bit of a stressful experience in the later nights, especially considering how you can't really delay Goofy, or you can't push Goofy back, so whatever progress he makes pretty much puts pressure on for the rest of the night and demands that you don't mess up again. As for the story, it's quite a, I guess kind of like a, I don't know what's the word for it, but it's kind of like a, I don't know, there's a word for it, like kind of like hopeless almost, because you're here surviving the week in this hellscape of sorts, but even though it's not real, the reality is that in the real world you're pretty much dead, or rather you're on the verge of death, trapped inside of a costume that has ended up altering your body, making you unrecognizable, right? And it's like, even though you survived the week, what do you have to show for it? You come back to life only to be found dead shortly after anyway. I mean, like, your fate was pretty much sealed. It was just a matter of the kind of like the lesser of two evils. That's not like the best wording for it, but it's like, you know, you get the best of the worst endings, I guess, for your character, right? Either, you know, get trapped in this hellscape in some sort, right? Trapped in this infinite loop, as an example, or break free and hope to find peace after you finally succumb to your mutations. I mean, again, like the concept of what's going on with the people at this place, right? I forgot the actual name of the place, because obviously it's not actually called Castaway Cay. It was like, what, Gordo Cay, I think, something along those lines. You know, these people were left abandoned here, cast away, forgotten, right? To the point where they had to wear the suits for warmth, and that pretty much became their end. As for why that was happening, I'm not too sure, right? That might be honestly something that has to be connected with the overall lore of Five Nights at Treasure Island, which I'm not super familiar with, obviously. So that, you know, like that part obviously will still be lost on me. But overall, yeah, kind of like it's kind of weird, like not in a bad way, but it's just kind of weird thinking like, yeah, this was like this weird, like almost hopeless journey. Side note, I really like this main menu music, honestly. I already made this comparison in the first video, but it reminds me of the soundtrack for Obsession, which I am still obsessed with, ironically enough. I don't know, I can't get enough of that movie. Like, it's one of those experiences for me now. It's like, I wish I could experience it again. Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, I never expected to catch on to Obsession as much as I have. But again, that's random tangent there. It's just the music made me think of that. But of course, with all that said, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, hit that notification bell to keep up to date on future videos. The game will be in the description below as always. Great job to the developers. And with that said, I'll see you in another video. Take care.